link.
Roof leaks, broken plumbing, fire, theft, vandalism. Your home insurance policy covers these damages and much more. As a licensed Florida attorney for over 20 years in claims management and insurance litigation, the law office of Michael A. Puchades can handle your claim at every stage, including litigation, should your insurance company refuse to pay, at no cost to you. Their legal team provides 24-hour claim reporting, free inspections and estimates by qualified loss consultants within 24 hours of your call, full-service legal representation until your claim is paid in full. And if a lawsuit must be filed to force the insurance company to pay for your damages, the legal fees and costs are paid directly by the insurance company. No recovery, no fees. The law office of Michael A. Puchades will turn property damage into money in your pocket to fix your home at no cost to you. Don't keep wasting time and money making repairs on your own. Call the law firm of Michael A. Puchades today, 305-908-1859.
And we're back. I think this is a special guest because of what goes on here in South Florida with our weather, and not just the weather,
right?
But we don't have just a public adjuster. We have an attorney who's a public adjuster. So imagine going up against the insurance company when you've got an attorney there versus a company. So let's welcome to our show attorney Michael Puchades.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Steve and Rene. It's a pleasure to be here and to address your listeners. And actually, just as a clarification, I am not a public adjuster by any stretch of the imagination. I'm far better than that as it relates to insurance cases and claims. My law office actually has public adjusters that work for us. We are the dog, not the tail. The public adjusters that work for our company, for my law firm, are the ones that
handle insurance claims.
Exactly. And the reason and really the main benefit for having an attorney as opposed to having just a public adjuster working for you is that number one, the attorney obviously commands a lot more respect from an insurance company.
Yes.
And number two, which is also very important, is that by law the attorney is paid separately for his fees and costs. So unlike a public adjuster is actually paid a percentage or obtains a percentage from the proceeds that the insurance company pays the homeowner or business owner or the policyholder. So you're sharing your money with the public adjuster, as opposed to having an attorney who is paid separately by Florida law, and of course can handle your claim a lot quicker and more aggressively and get the insurance company to pay you more at absolutely no cost because I'm paid separately and faster.
They're not going to drag their feet when an attorney is starting off the process. Is that right?
That's absolutely right.
And this doesn't just pertain to hurricanes, because I know, like, even my sister had a pipe burst in her kitchen, and she had a public adjuster come out, and she's still waiting to collect on that.
No, absolutely. There's a long menu of items that are covered under your insurance policy.
Can we talk about that?
Absolutely. And hurricanes, is more commonly known, but they're far less common.
Yes.
Thank God.
Yes. Absolutely. I'm a homeowner as well, and I don't want a hurricane. The last hurricane we had was Wilma down here in the South Florida back in October of 2005, which a month or two before that we had Katrina, the one that destroyed New Orleans. But we also have coverage. Every homeowner policy and business owner policy has coverage for what insurance companies don't want you to know, other than hurricane, for windstorm, which we get practically every afternoon in the summer months. I mean, those passing rains
they could do damage.
Can do tremendous damage to your roof and cause roof openings. And the insurance policy covers all of the repairs, partial repairs to your roof to cover those roof openings caused by windstorm. Again, I want to repeat windstorm. It's a new term that all homeowners should be aware of. Put aside the hurricane. Hurricane is obvious. Windstorm perhaps is not as obvious, and insurance companies want to bury that in there and not advise their homeowners that
so they try not to pay for those.
So they try, for
those claims.
Basically just not even to inform you that you have a right to make a claim for a windstorm, which happens every day.
That.
We actually do a roofing show here, and he has told us about what wind does to a roof and that a lot of people don't even realize what their policies say.
Absolutely, and you know, it's on your checklist of coverages. And the windstorm carries a completely different deductible. It normally is a $500 or $1,000 deductible. It's not like hurricane claims, which is they will cover, you know, based on a percentage of your policy amount. You know, this is just straight. It's an all perils fixed deductible ranging from $500 to $2,500 depending on your particular policy. But it covers all wind-caused damages, wind and rain. It's windstorm. So these really flash storms that we get that last for maybe an hour, that drop a lot of rain and wind and then go away and it's sunny again, that is covered. All those damages, so you don't
Not
have
just
to
roof
wait.
leaking, but you have water damage.
No,
problems.
let me tell you something. One time from the rain, I had water that came through my dining room chandelier, and I fought with the insurance company. I never got paid for that, which damaged my ceiling and my wood floor.
I would say a good 60% of our volume of cases are windstorm, particularly down in Dade and Broward, because I do other advertising down there as well. And thankfully, people have started to respond, and they now realize that they have coverage for windstorm. And again, it would cover repairs to your roof and any ensuing water loss. That is, any water damage to your ceilings, your walls, your floors, you know, caused by the rain that entered your home from an afternoon windstorm.
What made you decide, coming out of law school and starting a practice, to get into this area? Because we work with others around the country. You're the first attorney.
Well, I've been practicing law now for 24 years, and actually the first 18 years or so I was on the defense side. And before I came to, as some of my former defense attorney friends, still my friends, you know, joke with me, I went, before coming over to the dark side, you know, where I represent homeowners and business owners against insurance companies. You know, I was defending those insurance companies, and in fact, I was general counsel and senior vice president for a company that myself and 3 partners formed.
So that gave you an edge.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. I sat on
the inside how they work.
Absolutely, I sat on the board of directors for Citizens Insurance, and also for the Florida Insurance Guarantee Association. I was the chair of the Florida Auto JUA Association. So I've been really mostly, for most of my career, an insurance industry insider. And in 2008, 2009, with the recession, and unfortunately, we lost our business, our insurance company business, and then I flipped over to the dark side. And I've been representing homeowners, and actually...
you do business too, though, not just homeowners, right?
I do business owners, and yeah, absolutely. Every dwelling, every commercial building that's covered by an insurance policy, for which we have coverage for property damage ranging from windstorm and plumbing. That's another big area.
Yes.
People do not realize how much coverage you have for broken plumbing. You know, you have to hire a plumber, and they come in, they open your drywall, they have to open your floors in order to fix a pipe. You know,
and then you have to replace the floors and everything. Yeah.
The walls, and then you sometimes have to replace bathrooms, kitchens, things of that nature. All of those, the replacement of the bathrooms, the kitchens,
So
the floors.
does mold does that come into play too?
Absolutely, and mostly every time you have a plumbing leak that you need to hire a plumber, and then as a result have to replace the floors, the kitchen, the bathroom walls, whatever it may be, you're also invariably going to find mold. Just the nature of our environment in South Florida. So you have mold testing and remediation coverage as well. Typically, most of our plumbing cases also have a secondary claim for mold remediation, because when you find the leak, there's going to be mold somewhere nearby.
That makes sense. We do a mold show with
Yes.
U.S. Mold. So yes, that's exactly right. You know, I actually saw that a insurance company, the tile on the floor was bad, and they just tried to replace just the tiles that were bad. But that tile was not even available anymore.
No, you can't match up the tile. So they don't want to replace the whole floor.
Well, they never do. I mean, they don't even want to
Do anything.
acknowledge your
Their
Right.
job is to pay the least amount possible.
Yeah, well, their job, first and foremost, and again, speaking to you as a former general counsel for an insurance company, which used to be my job, their first reaction is to deny your claim outright. And
just deny it.
I hope you go away and don't come back. And, of course,
Does that
continue.
happen a lot?
Oh, absolutely.
Happens all the time.
Yes.
That's why you have to go to Michael.
Well, that's why you see on TV so many commercials. Every other commercial you see on TV is an insurance company commercial. Where do you think they get all the money
right.
to pay for, the little mascots and things that they come up with for advertising their insurance companies? The money comes from the homeowners and businesses, or from policyholders
Not paying
that pay
for claims.
premiums. And every year insurance companies will raise your premiums and add more exclusions to your policy. So every year you end up getting far less for having to pay more money to have coverage for things that many times people are not aware of what they have. And it's about 30 pages. Your standard insurance policy is a contract. It's about 30 pages long, and
most people don't read it.
Most people don't read it, and even when you try to read it, I have difficulty sometimes figuring it out. Judges do. Sometimes we present, cases, and we go to a hearing, and the judge is scratching his or her head, not sure what the language says. It's written purposely that way, so that people become confused. Of course, they have lawyers that write these complicated, clauses in your insurance contracts, and in order to match that, you need an attorney representing you
exactly
every step of the way.
So what happens if you start out using another public adjuster? Can you switch over to your law firm?
Absolutely, and a public adjuster will only take you so far. A public adjuster is not a lawyer.
Right.
They're not licensed to practice law in the state of Florida. A public adjuster can only report your claim, and basically try to negotiate some kind of settlement with the insurance company. Typically, the insurance company, again, will either outright deny your claim, and unless you're represented by an attorney from the get-go, more likely than not, they will outright deny your claim because they're hoping you're going to just forget and not come back and go away. Or they will pay a partial amount of the amount that we're seeking, or that the public adjuster is seeking. And then at that point, basically the public adjuster's role is complete. I mean, there's nothing else for the public adjuster to do other than to charge you the 20 or 30% that they typically charge you. The public adjuster's name will appear on your check, assuming, the insurance company decides to
pay. That's a large percentage,
a portion of your claim. Yes, absolutely. So with an attorney, you always will need an attorney. Right. Unless you're willing to settle for the amount that the insurance company is paying you, and giving the portion due to the public adjuster, whatever it is that you have net after paying the public adjuster. Unless you're satisfied with that amount, that's as far as you can go, really. You need to then hire a lawyer.
I want to get into some horror stories when we come back from break about some of the things that you've seen, that people just hired a public adjuster and how much money they left on the table. So we're here with attorney Michael Puchades. He's an attorney. He's not a public adjuster.
He's not a public adjuster. He is an attorney.
And we will
an insurance attorney.
We'll be right back.
Okay.
Roof leaks, broken plumbing, fire, theft, vandalism. Your home insurance policy covers these damages and much more. As a licensed Florida attorney for over 20 years in claims management and insurance litigation, the law office of Michael A. Puchades can handle your claim at every stage, including litigation, should your insurance company refuse to pay, at no cost to you. Their legal team provides 24-hour claim reporting, free inspections and estimates by qualified loss consultants within 24 hours of your call, full-service legal representation until your claim is paid in full. And if a lawsuit must be filed to force the insurance company to pay for your damages, the legal fees and costs are paid directly by the insurance company. No recovery, no fees. The law office of Michael A. Puchades will turn property damage into money in your pocket to fix your home at no cost to you. Don't keep wasting time and money making repairs on your own. Call the law firm of Michael A. Puchades today, 305-908-1859.
And we're back. You know what? This to me, I want to say this before we get started. The reason for this show is we're bringing you the finest experts in South Florida.
We're trying to educate people.
You never know when you're going to have an accident at the house. Forget about hurricanes. You never know. With our rainstorms, you just never know. And then when it happens, you start Googling. How do you know who you're going to get?
And how do you know you can trust them?
Exactly. So
and you want somebody reputable.
The finest. And I was just thinking while you were talking, the attorney, when you hire a company, a public adjuster, attorney's probably way down the road. Right. You're right there at the very beginning.
And you do house calls.
Absolutely. And I think that many public adjusters, they do a lot of advertising, and that's true, and good for them. They've been very effective in their advertising. And attorneys do advertising as well, but you mostly hear about vehicle, personal injury cases, bankruptcies, immigration, divorce law, things of that nature. But you're correct. There aren't as many attorneys that advertise in this area, and the feeling seems to be like we'll let the public adjusters handle most of that stuff, and eventually it's going to come to an attorney anyway. The public adjuster will refer a case to a lawyer.
But why not start out with the attorney?
That's exactly right, and that's my approach, which is rather unique. I think a little more unique than what you normally see, because, and again, speaking to you as a former general counsel, if you want your claim to be settled and handled quickly, you want to hire a lawyer from the beginning, not at the end.
Right.
When the public adjuster is done and has charged his or her 20-30%, you want to bring in a lawyer from day one.
Exactly.
And we do everything. Again, I have the public adjusters work for my firm. I send a public adjuster to your home, a licensed public adjuster that, again, works for my office.
And you have contractors, too.
And yes, as well. And everything is I pay for all of the expenses. I pay for all the costs. We make the house calls, Rene, as you pointed out. All you need to do is call the number.
Give everyone your phone number.
It's 305-908-1859, 305-908-1859. And then one of our office representatives will get your information. Obviously, we first want to determine whether or not you have an active insurance policy. And then what we do is we then send you our adjuster, and then you coordinate whatever time is convenient for the adjuster to visit your home.
What is your rapid response team? What do they do?
It's basically made up of an adjuster that will first go out, verify the loss, take photographs. They do what is called a scope of your damages. They prepare a written estimate. For instance, in the case we discussed about the plumber, that now you need to replace your kitchen, your bathroom, whatever it is. So they'll write an estimate for what it would cost to repair and replace your entire kitchen, let's say, for example, new cabinets, new countertops, whatever, drywall has to be changed, floors that have to be replaced. So we write up an estimate. My employee, again, the adjuster, prepares the estimate, takes photographs to document, as evidence, the damages that occurred. And then we report the claim directly to the insurance company, and it's being reported on behalf of your attorney, Michael Puchades, and the insurance company will then typically respond relatively quickly.
How long does it take to get a check?
I give the insurance company no more, than 30 days to respond, because at the moment that we report the loss, we are complying with all the post-loss obligations contained in the insurance contract, in the insurance policy. We're providing them with a sworn statement of proof of loss. We're providing them with the written estimates, photographs, everything. So they have no excuse to drag their feet.
And what happens if they deny paying, if they don't want to pay the claim?
Well, then we go straight to court.
Right.
And I follow also. In fact, in my notice of claim letter, I'm letting them know if in 30 days we cannot resolve this claim, for the amount we're seeking, we're filing a lawsuit, as you have a right to do, in state court, which we then do. I also, my office pays, I pay for the filing fees associated with filing the complaint in court. And at that point, it gets serious for the insurance companies, because then they say, hold on, because now they have to hire their own attorneys to answer the complaint, engage in litigation, which makes it more expensive for the insurance company.
Of course.
So typically, upon receiving service of the complaint, I will receive a phone call from the insurance company saying, let's work this out.
Try to settle.
Yeah, exactly. To try to settle the case, rather than incurring additional expenses, having to hire their own lawyer. So once again, the reason they respond so quickly and they pay you more is because you have a lawyer by your side, fighting for your rights. And then again, by Florida law, I get paid separately.
And can I take that a step further? If I'm going to court with another attorney, this is all you do. You're not like a boutique,
yes,
so to say.
Right.
You do criminal, you do PI. This is all you do.
This is
his expertise.
They're not going to pull the wool over your eyes, basically.
No, this is my my specialty. Again, and most of it comes from my years on the other side. defending insurance companies, and even being a part owner and officer and director of an insurance company, and also as an insurance company insider, having done work for insurance companies in the state of Florida, and for the Department of Insurance. So again, I bring all that knowledge to the table.
Why go anywhere else?
Representing the homeowner.
Yes.
How long do they have to make their claim? Is there a
statute
time
of limitations
period or anything?
Yeah, the statute of limitations is because an insurance policy is a contract, is your standard statute of limitations for all contracts, which is 5 years.
Okay.
However, realistically, the evidence goes stale. Memories fade. You want to, as soon as you experience a loss, you want to start the process.
Damage, you want it fixed.
Exactly. You want to. So technically, you do have 5 years. However, with plumbing claims, for instance, which are more and more common now because people are starting to realize, hey, I have a right to have my kitchen replaced and my bathroom fixed and replaced, and those floors fixed because the plumber came, trenched my floors, and put in new PVC pipes, but he left a big hole in my floor. So people now realize they have a right to make claims for those things. But those are a little more time sensitive because you do have to report the loss to the insurance company, the loss being when you discovered the leak within 14 days of discovering the leak.
That's fair enough.
Okay, so especially on plumbing cases, if you have a
notice
leak,
that immediately.
if you see that the bottom cabinet's under your kitchen sink, you open
If you
those
see
bottom
moisture,
cabinets,
there's a problem.
You see moisture, you should hire call a plumber, call us. Actually, we will send you a plumber. We have roofers, we have other kinds of contractors as well that work for us. And again, I'm covering all the expenses from day one. You will never have to pay a penny for anything.
You understand that?
No recovery, no fee. Why is that? Why can I say that and a public adjuster cannot say that? Because by law, I get paid all my fees and all the costs separately when I get you the money you deserve. And adjusters can't say that, and I do this 100%.
You have nothing to lose, basically.
7 days a week, 100% of my time I do
You
this.
have everything to win. Really.
Yes,
Can
absolutely.
you give us, we only have a few minutes, can you give us like a horror story? Because I hear these other companies going, well, they were supposed to get $300 and I got them $5 million. That's not right, okay?
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have to be a rocket
Well,
scientist.
if it sounds too good to be true.
Exactly.
Well, I mean,
It's
if
not.
your home is worth $5 million,
That's a whole different
Yeah,
ballgame.
yes,
But typically
exactly.
that's not the case.
yeah, I mean, you get whatever your policy limits are, and that's a function of what your home is worth, the value of your home. But again, it all depends on the nature of your loss. I mean, if you have any doubt, just call our office. I mean, we will walk you through every single step. And as we said, we make the house calls. You never even have to leave your home. You don't ever have to come to my office, except if you want to come to the office and shake my hand and so I can hand you the check. But other than that, we make the house calls. We send the team to you. And, of course, we keep you informed every step of the way. But I pay every cost associated with handling your claim and your case in court. And that's because I get paid separately by Florida law.
So if someone has a major water damage problem, there's going to be a lot of things involved with that. Do they wait to call you the next day? When do they call you?
Immediately.
Absolutely, Rene. As soon as you notice the leak, whether it be a windstorm that passes and you look up in the ceiling, you see a little droplet on your ceiling. Whether it be that.
But they're going to call the water damage company to come out and clean it up.
See, most people don't even know that they have coverage for that because you think typically when you have insurance, it's just if you have fire or
Right.
or tornado or something like that. Most people don't know if there's a pipe that broke and there's floor damage. You think that you have to, because I know even for myself, you would think that you have to replace it on your own, that the insurance doesn't cover it. Right. So that's why you really need to know this.
You do. You have a duty, as every responsible homeowner and business owner knows, you have a duty to mitigate. You can't allow, the water to flood your house. You have to take responsible steps to call a plumber, call someone right away. If it's in the middle of the night or early in the morning, you want to have somebody there to fix it. But then immediately after doing that, then call our office.
Yes.
And we'll get the ball rolling on getting all those damages repaired that can be very expensive.
Let's give your phone number again. Write this down. This is important.
The number is 305-908-1859. 305-908-1859.
And your website.
My website is www.mapuchades, law.com. Let me spell my last name. That's
Spell
the name
it quickly.
comes from Spain. It's M-A, then P as in Peter, U-C-H-A, D as in David, E-S as in Sam, law, L-A-W.com.
Great. We're going to have Michael with us again next month to talk about more attorney that just happens to do public adjusting.
Yes.
Thank you so much for
Thanks for coming
on
in today.
Great show. I can't wait to get even deeper into it next month. And thanks for listening today. Peace and love.
We're out.
Thanks for tuning in today to the Ask the Expert show with Steve O and Rene. Tune in every Friday from 4 to 5 p.m. while some of the top local experts in their field from Broward and Palm Beach counties educate you in the areas of law, health, financial, and home improvement. You can also call our offices at 888-574-6999 to become an expert on our show. The opinions expressed on the preceding